and the A's taking the field, and we are playing baseball, maybe even a little bit early tonight. Outman's first pitch is a strike. 7:06 first pitch.
Remember yesterday how we were congratulating the umpire for waiting until 1:07 as we could get the lineups in, but not tonight.
So Josh Outman quickly to work. 1-1 the count to the leadoff man for the Twins, Denard Span. The first of 4 between these two teams, and it's the first meeting of the year for the A's and the Twins.
Who's behind the plate? I heard Mike Selleck giving the rotation.
Wally Bell is the home plate umpire. There's been a change from the original lineup. Marty Foster at first, Chad Fairchild at second, John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, is at third. First game of a series. Sometimes there's a little question about the umpire rotation. Denard Span flips one to shallow left. Holiday, a long run. He's going to get there. So that's the first out of the ball game. Let's take a look at the rest of the Twins lineup. It's brought to you by McDonald's. Span, Mauer, Morneau, Kadir, Harris, Young, Gomez, Tolbert, and Casilla. Defensively for the Athletics tonight, Holiday, Davis, and Cunningham in the outfield. Hanahan, Cabrera, Kennedy, Giambi on the infield, and Kurt Suzuki is the catcher. So Josh Outman set to work to Joe Mauer. This will be a fun matchup to watch all night long.
Well, the whole series, because Joe Mauer is an excellent hitter. 410, amazing. Player of the month in May, not surprising with those numbers. Couldn't be the player of the month in April because he wasn't playing.
How about that?
Kind of a scary situation for him, injury-wise, but good to see him come back strong, and he's playing so well. When he doesn't catch, he's the DH. Ron Gardenhire wants to keep his excellent bat in the lineup.
He's 50 for 122. So he does not have enough at-bats to qualify to be in the league leaders. Obviously, if he was, he would be leading the league, but he will get there at some point. 2-1 to Mauer, and he rips one into right field for a base hit.
Josh Outman's second start in the month of June. His first one against the White Sox, picked up the win. His 10th start overall, and he has been very good. 3.02 earned run average. Of course, 3-0 in his last 5 starts with a 191 earned run average. Fastball to Joe Mauer up and in, and Mauer just such a quick swing, quick bat. He was able to get a solid base hit.
Justin Morneau steps in. A big season for Morneau. 7th in average, tied for 5th in homers, and 3rd in RBIs. Very interesting thing to watch tonight is we know how tough Outman is against the left-handers. Left-handers now 7 for 48 on the year after the Mauer home run. The top 3 hitters in the Twins lineup are left-handed, and they're the only lefties that will be in the lineup. A couple of switch hitters for the Twins: Span, Mauer, and Morneau. I think you could say what Outman does against those 3 guys may be the difference in the ballgame.
You're right. The numbers: 6 home runs have come against when he's faced righties.
Span is a 300 hitter, Mauer 410, and Morneau 335.
Which I'm sure Ron Gardenhire doesn't care who pitches, lefty, righty, doesn't matter.
Nope.
But what is interesting, normally you have your power guys, your best hitters 3 and 4. He's got them 2 and 3. So Michael Kadir is not bad himself, hitting in the cleanup spot.
Check swing by Morneau, and it's 3 and 2. Well, over the weekend, the Twins lost 2 out of 3 to the Seattle Mariners. Twins did not do much scoring. 5 runs in the 3-game series. Now, those 3 hitters we're talking about, when they combined 5 for 35, and the Twins scored just 5 runs in 3 games. Strike 3 called right on the outside corner.
Morneau is a very good hitter, especially in breaking balls from lefties, but this perfect fastball after a 2-2 slider.
Right fielder.
Then he checked his swing, held his bat. But then Josh Outman could not have thrown a more perfect fastball to the outside corner.
Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Admission free. Boardwalk open daily. 58 degrees. Under partly cloudy skies. Very little wind. So a cool but nice night for baseball. A Monday night here at the Coliseum. Michael Cuddyer hitting in the cleanup spot. Takes inside. The A's with a 25-30 record coming in. Of course, the 6-game winning streak, and they are now 14-13 at home, 11-17 on the road. When you won 6 in a row, you find all different kind of ways to win games. Obviously, the staple for the A's has been the great pitching, but yesterday the A's get 2 hits.
Yeah.
And they win 3-0.
And that's where the pitching comes in. When you don't get a lot of hitting. Oh, by the way, there's Derek Barton. Welcome, Derek.
I'll tell you about that.
But no doubt, and there are times we've talked before where the offense is just not clicking, and pitcher can say, "Give me 1 run, and I'll take care of the rest." Well, that's what Vin Mazzaro did yesterday.
Derek Barton is here. Why, you ask? Because Ryan Sweeney has been placed on the disabled list, and Derek Barton recalled from Sacramento. Sweeney with the sprained knee. Rajai Davis drifts in near the sunshine. He's got it. Side retired. So the Twins do not score in the top of the first. Bottom of the first coming up. It'll be Anthony Swarzak starting for the Twins tonight. Score. A's coming to bat, bottom of the first. Let's look at their lineup. It's brought to you by McDonald's. Cabrera, Kennedy, and Costa at the top. Then Holiday, the cleanup hitter, followed by Giambi, Suzuki, Cunningham, Hanahan, and Rajai Davis. Twins defensively, Span, Gomez, Cuddyer on the outfield. Tolbert, Harris, Casilla, Morneau infield. Joe Mauer is the catcher.
Anthony Swarzak making his 4th major league start. His first, of course, against the Athletics. Young man not spent any time Major League Baseball until this year. And of course, he's already bought into the philosophy of the Twins. You throw strikes. You don't walk batters, and that's usually what you see the Minnesota Twins. But also see Cabrera, 4th game in a row that he's led off the game with a base hit.
So Cabrera gets things rolling for the A's here in the first. We've said that a lot lately.
Well, Swarzak with the first pitch fastball down the middle of the plate. A little bit of a tailing action towards the middle, and Cabrera liked what he saw. And when you're hot, you swing the bat, get on base, and see if you can do what also he did over the weekend. Let off the game with a hit, score the run.
Adam Kennedy steps in. Kennedy, .339 average with 4 home runs and 17 runs batted in. Taking a long look down at Mike Gallego. Two and 0. Anthony Swarzak, the starting pitcher. 5 full years in the minor leagues for the Twins, and then this year he made 7 starts at AAA Rochester. And then he was brought up May 20th, made his major league debut a couple of nights later. He won his major league debut, 7 shutout innings against the Brewers. But he has lost his next 2 starts.
Adam Kennedy continues to play very well for the Athletics. See the numbers at the bottom against the Orioles. See the way Cabrera and Kennedy are playing top of the batting order kind of reminds me of the great 1984 Detroit Tigers team with Lou Whitaker leading off. Seemed to always get on base. And Alan Trammell hitting second, got him to third, and somebody drove him in. Usually Kirk Gibson, but yeah, you guys at the top of the order setting the table for the middle, the way the middle guys are hitting. It's perfect situation for the ball club to be in.
And we really haven't seen Cabrera get hot yet. You know, I mean, last year with the White Sox, he had a slow start, but then had a big second half of the season, really the final 4 months of the season, and just now starting to see him swing the bat a little bit better. But Cabrera is not a .235 hitter, and that is what he's hitting now, but that'll go up. Again, foul.
And with Cabrera getting on base the way he has been, and Kennedy hitting second, I always talk about the big hole between first and second because of runner being held by the first baseman and the second baseman close to second. So Kennedy, when he was with the Angels, hitting the spot, and throughout his career he's hit there and been able to find the hole between first and second, and in most cases advance the runner to third.
Hits it sharply on the ground to short. Harris kicks it around and everybody's safe. It was a hard hit ball. Brendan Harris on the backhand could not come up with it cleanly, and it's an error.
The only play was going to be get Cabrera at second. Ball was hit hard, slicing away, and the problem is the transfer. Got the ball towards the webbing, which it looked like he was able to secure the ball in his glove, but the transfer is when he dropped it. And there's the shock for the team with the fewest errors in the American League.
Just the 22nd. Here's Jack Cust. Like the only team in baseball that has fewer errors than the Twins is the Phillies. Phillies have just 18 errors.
So the only team in the American League that we have seen that not put the shift on for Jack Cust. He does not probably right now know what to think. Look at the guys, the infielders, with the exception of Harris, cheating a little bit towards second, but that's your normal alignment. No shift whatsoever. They do it with Jason Giambi also. You may have a couple of guys who get a lot of hits this series because we have seen how many have been taken away because of the shift.
One and one the count. A couple of on for the A's, saying back-to-back changeups by Swarzak. Cust laid off the first one, swung at the second one.
Now that's something that he will do. Good fastball in the low 90s with tailing action, but a changeup that he likes to do exactly that. Throw it back to back. Of course, his veteran catcher Joe Mauer is the one making the calls. Rick Anderson, the longtime pitching coach for Ron Gardenhire.
Another changeup, but that one came out high, so it's a 2-2 count. A single and an error. That's how the A's have got their 2 runners on base here in the bottom of the first inning. Full count.
Stadium speed gun is not working at this time, and I know hitters like to look up, especially if they're seeing a pitcher for the first time. And that is the case with the A's and Swarzak tonight. Kind of peek up and look at the number just to see how hard a guy might be throwing.
That one bounced foul. Jack Cust coming off a 1-for-10 series against the Orioles, but the one hit was a home run, and he knocked in 4 runs in the series. He walked 3 times. So he was right in the middle of the offense, even though he had just the one hit, which was a home run. Runners do not take off, and Cust drives one to left center, hit pretty well. Span back near the wall, and he's got it. Cabrera's going to tag, and he'll go to third, and he'll make it. A long out for Jack Cust. He'll be first and third with 1 out.
Well, went back to changeup, 3-2. Jack was all over it, but could not get it up on the wall. Sounded great. Of course, in the Orioles series, he hit the home run, the towering home run to right field, right center. Similar ball, good smart base running by Cabrera with the throw going to third.
So Matt Holliday steps in, hitting in the cleanup spot as always. 8 home runs and 37 runs batted in for Holliday. And Joe Mauer is going to chat with his rookie pitcher. Holliday coming off a good series against the Orioles, 4 for 9. And a homer, a double, knocked in 4, scored a couple runs. Bounced. Nice play at third by Tolbert. The out at second, and that's a double play. So the A's had a chance but do not score in the bottom of the first. Jr., the Portobello Mushroom $6 burger is back at Carl's Jr. It's more than just a piece of meat. Top of the second inning from the Coliseum. No score between the A's and the Twins. First look at the Twins this year. So the only team the A's have not seen this year, the Cleveland Indians from the Central. They played everybody else.
A's will see the Tribe in early July when they head back to Cleveland and then Boston and Tampa. Remember last year the Indians came in early part of the season. This year they come in late. So it's going to be almost 2 full seasons before the A's will see the Tribe. The M&M boys.
The Twins this year 28-30. Coming into today 3.5 games behind the Tigers in the AL Central. But it's the road record that stands out with the Twins. Kind of makes you scratch your head. They're 7-18. That's the fewest road wins in the American League. They have lost 13 of their last 16 road games. There not too many good players to be losing that much on the road.
But of course they've always had the home field advantage at the Metrodome. The last year the Twins will be playing their home games in the covered Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis. Those guys will be freezing next year with their outdoor stadium.
Outside corner, strike 3 called to Brendan Harris. Harris can't believe it.
Batting in the 6th.
So 1 out. So next year,
Number
it'll
21,
be a new ballpark.
Kelvin Young.
But there was one thing missing. A roof over that. That would be nice if they could put a retractable, something over to assure the fans and the players that there's going to be a game every day. Rick Stelmasic, longtime coach of the Twins, when I mentioned that to him, and he said, "Ray, you played at the Mistake on the Lake in Cleveland. It was cold there." I said, "Yeah, but you guys have had a dome for many, many years and never had to worry about a rain out."
That one is going to just roll foul. Well, listen, I mean, I agree to you to a certain extent. I think the month of April can be brutal there.
Yeah.
But once May gets there, I mean, it's the Midwest.
It's never going to rain, though. Right?
Well, I understand that, but
yeah, it snows in April.
No.
It rains in June, July.
But does it
come
rain?
back
Does
in
it
September? And the
rain
snow
more?
Comes back.
No. Well, that's not true. Does it rain more in Minneapolis than Chicago, or St. Louis, or Kansas City?
Just have to hope. I mean, we don't have to worry.
Nobody's answering my question here.
Well,
does
sure.
it rain more in Minneapolis in the summertime than it does in the other Midwest cities? No. So
but
it'll be April will be an issue.
But
after that,
but I
won't
can
be.
tell you firsthand, because with the A's and the Twins and the A's were the same division. We went to the Minneapolis 3 times. April, usually July, and September.
Yeah.
Never went in and played a single game. There's always doubleheaders, always makeups.
Well, sure, but
But
is that any different than any other Midwest town?
it's just simply the Twins have had the dome. They've gotten very comfortable and very happy with the fact. Now, yeah, sure, it's the same Midwest, but the fact they've had the dome, they have not had to worry about those conditions you just talked about. The other cities have had to worry about.
Well, they'll have to adjust that.
Well, you Midwestern boy, I tell you.
Well, where are you from?
You cheat.
Are you from the South?
Southern
Where's Illinois?
Southern Illinois.
Illinois. Couldn't be more in the middle of the country.
Well,
They'll be fine.
I just remember talking to
They'll
Bert
be
Blyleven, and he said that he'd see all the out-of-town license plates in Minneapolis because all those folks from other states would come in and watch baseball.
Just like St. Louis. 6-3 is the put out. We'll be back. I'm going to get Fosse right now.
Go Monday, June 22nd. Game time is 7:05. The first 10,000 fans get a 1989 World Series replica Mark McGwire jersey brought to you by Pepsi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 877-493-BALL. You could just as easily put Comcast Sportsnet California over that. Channel 89.
That is the channel to remember. 89. The year to remember. Giambi, Suzuki, Cunningham. Bottom of the second, no score.
Well, had a visitor between innings, the Dibs guy, who we've seen down in the stands with a big Dibs container. He brought up one that was purchased by, who did he say?
A fan.
Fan way down in the right field area.
He was trying to point the fan out to us, but we thought that was pretty kind.
But he told us exactly how many pieces are in the Dibs container. 26.
26.
Now we know.
There he is. There's our guy.
This guy just brought him up.
26 Dibs per container. That's good. That's important stuff to know.
So look what he's carrying around in his left hand. He's got the Dibs in the container below him, but that must be the advertising right there, right on top. Big container. You got a wad of cash. Dibs are good, though. And so are those.
Yeah.
You send some of those up, too. If Chef Rodney breaks some goodies up, well, we'd just be in heaven.
I'm telling you. Kurt Suzuki, 280 with a couple of home runs, 19 RBIs.
Well, the A's have been playing so well, and of course being 10 games under 500, and of course try to get back to make it 11 because they're now 500, so they've won 6 in a row. Trying to get to the 500 mark, and that's why you just try to continue to win, even though it's a new series, different team. The old saying goes, you can never take any team lightly. They were able to sweep the Orioles over the weekend, 3 out of 4 against the White Sox. Twins, as always, are a very good club.
And we're keeping a close eye on the first place team, the Texas Rangers, tonight. Rangers are losing right now 4-3 in the 8th inning at home to the Blue Jays. The Angels and the Mariners do not play. Kind of a light schedule around baseball today. The White Sox and the Tigers played a doubleheader today. Must have been a rainout situation. It was a split. Detroit won the first game 5-4. Chicago over Detroit 6-1 in game 2. Jeremy Bonderman started that game for the Tigers. The second game, he took the loss.
See, the Tigers go to the Metrodome this year. They don't have to worry about a rainout. See?
Yeah, they do in Chicago, though.
So that's what I'm just trying to say. That the Twins have not had to worry about it, even though it rains just as much in Minneapolis. But they didn't have to worry about.
So they got to buy a tarp?
That's true. And hope they have great drainage.
It's no fun if we agreed on everything, I guess. Right, Ray? Swing and a miss by Cunningham, a couple of strikeouts, and we're headed to the 3rd. No score, A's and Twins. question. Trenton Anderson from Auburn has an interesting question. How many bags of seeds does Matt Holliday go through in a game?
There's one right there, we know.
That's a good question. We actually have the answer for you. Done a little research. And Matt told us that he goes through 5 bags of seeds per game. And we just decided, Ray, that that's a lot.
That is a lot of
5
seeds.
bags of seeds.
But sunflower seeds are good.
They are good.
But you know the difference in sunflower seeds? You have to have them in the shell, just like Matt took them out of the bag in his mouth and, you know, you chew it. But if you can buy them in a can, just the seed, it's no fun.
No.
You've got to actually...
It's more of the whole process, right?
Exactly. That's what it's in the dugout after every game. Just all these seed shells, sunflower seed shells. Just
Yeah, how many?
12 grams of fat, if you're into that.
Per bag.
Yeah. Well, that's usually by serving, isn't it?
So
Calories 100. I mean, but they're young.
12 grams of fat, 12 times 5. 60 grams of fat. Matt
Good boy,
Holliday.
Edgar.
Come on, Edgar's killing him. To wash it down a little water.
He's just washing the salt out. There you go.
Hey, it's better than chewing tobacco, right?
Oh, yes.
But seeds are.
But
In a strange way, seeds are part of baseball. They
See,
really
those
are.
2 items you just mentioned, the reason that George Tolman, a longtime great groundskeeper of the Kansas City Royals, and he had the artificial turf, that's why he always said it was harder to maintain the turf than grass because of those 2 items.
It's like carpeting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
1-2 pitch to Matt Tolbert. It'll be Tolbert, Casilla, and Denard Span against Outman. But it's not uncommon for a guy to take the bag of seeds out to his position and in between pitches. A handful in his mouth. That one's lined toward Holliday. Amongst the seeds, he's got it.
See, I like to dump them just out of the bag in my back pocket so you didn't have to take the bag out.
Is that what you did?
You just put them in the back pocket, stick your hand in, grab a handful, and put them
Second
in.
baseman, number 25, Alexei Casilla.
And that's the reason all the seagulls come around looking for those seeds and maybe some remnants of the ones.
But, Ray, you're still a seed guy.
Oh, yeah.
My partner
Yep.
gets on the bus after a game. Goes right to the seeds.
But just a lot of salt. You know, you kind of to make sure you chew gum or do something else because you get all the salt in it. So you get this. You get Tommy. You're great, man. Tommy, as you just mentioned, whatever.
This is Alexei Casilla, switch hitter, the 9th place hitter for the Twins.
And I think we said yesterday when Vin Mazzaro was being interviewed, Dallas Braden was flicking sunflower seeds at him while he was trying to talk to us. You see, guys have been actually hurt flipping pumpkin seeds, trying to see if they could hit a certain line.
Yeah.
And guys have come up with elbow problems. That's a bad.
That's a bad injury. But hey, I know pitchers who will sit there for 9 innings and see how many they can flip into a cup.
Yep.
The winner, hey, you take the money. Jack Hanahan has it. Cassilla's pretty fast, but he throws it out.
Well, we got a congratulations in order, don't we?
We do. We do.
Tyler Joseph
Number 2,
Crosby.
Denard Span.
To Gina and Bobby Crosby, congratulations. 7.9 ounces, 12.52 today. So he left yesterday, the 9th
He
inning?
did. He left.
Because of that.
From what I understand, Adam Roden actually told us what happened. The phone rang in the clubhouse, and it was Bobby's wife.
Gina said, come home, Bobby.
home. So Bobby left, I think it was the 7th or 8th inning. And so I believe she was already at the hospital. That was yesterday afternoon. Again, 12:52 today, this afternoon. Tyler Joseph Crosby.
As Bobby yesterday, as he did come to the park, obviously, as he played, and said, you and Gina picked out a name. Says, no, we have not decided. We're arguing. So Adam mentioned today, it came right down to today. And they knew it was going to be a boy, so it wasn't as if it was, well, here's a name for a girl or a boy. But congratulations. That's outstanding to the Crosbys and to Grandpa Ed.
Your old teammate, right?
Yeah. I see. Yeah. You can join him in the grandfather.
That's right.
You know. Buck Martinez yesterday had their son and daughter-in-law just had their first granddaughter. So a lot of nice, good babies being born.
I asked Buck, I said, hey, you guys going home? And he said, well, the team is. I'm going to L.A. to see my new grandchild for the first time.
Yeah.
So he was excited.
Yeah, he was there. He said he'd leave about 6:30 for the game, and maybe he was born about 10:30. So that's exciting.
3-2 now to the leadoff man, Denard Span. Span hit a fly ball to left field, leading off the ball game.
So what? About 22 years now playing shortstop. Tyler Crosby. It's a big league name.
Three generations.
See, how old will I be when I broadcast this?
20 years, you'll be 57.
Yeah.
Hit hard. Kennedy grabs it on the short hop, flips to first. And Josh Outman is now retired. 8 in a row. Bottom of the third coming up. No score.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
Comcast has A's Baseball on demand. Go to Comcast Channel 1, select Sports and Fitness, and then select Comcast Sportsnet. A's Baseball is available after every game. 6 in a row for the Athletics, going for 7 in a row tonight. That's wins in a row. It'll be Hanahan, Davis, and Cabrera. The A's with 1 hit so far against Anthony Swarzak.
Now the A's had the opportunity in the first inning, could not take advantage of the error in the first and third, 1 out, and Swarzak has definitely settled down. A lot of times a batting practice pitcher throws like a catcher because it's 4-seam right over the top. Kind of the same with Swarzak. He's right over the top, and similarities with Outman and Swarzak, that kind of behind the ear, right over the top. But he settled down after the first inning.
Good pitch there on the outside corner to Hanahan. Hanahan 173 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Jack continues to play terrific defense at third base. Struggling offensively, just 1 for his last 17. So Hanahan trying to get going. Strike 3 called. Fastball with that tail to a left-handed hitter. It's a great pitch, isn't it?
It is more and more. Between the splitter and the two-seamer where it buckles the knees of the hitter and pulls back and the ball comes right in the inside corner. Twins with just 162 walks, the closest team behind them, the Blue Jays, at 173. So you like to think that with a pitching staff that's around the plate, it'd be better to hit. But it's not necessarily true. They make quality pitches, and not only do they not walk guys, but they don't just throw them down the middle of the plate. Fewest in the majors.
Last year as well. Yeah. Twins last year won 88 games, and remember they lost the one-game playoff to the White Sox 1-0 in Chicago. So that sent the White Sox into the postseason, and the Twins unfortunately went home. They sort of limped home last year. They won 11-15 in September, and that forced that one-game playoff, which they then lost. But they are a quality team year in and year out.
And that's why you see that only one losing season for Ron Gardenhire in his tenure as the manager of the Twins, following the great Tom Kelly. So there's not a lot of managerial changes in the Twin Cities.
I think that makes a big difference, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've won the division in 4 of the last 7 years, have the Twins. Hit hard, knocked down by Harris. He's going to have to hurry, and not in time. Well, once that ball bounced off the chest of Brendan Harris, Rajay Davis had a pretty good chance of beating it out. It's a base hit for Davis.
Well, got the base hit only because of the way the ball was hit. Hit very hard, and the fact that Harris took the ball off his midsection. But I think that's a very good call. Although some official scores would say if it's right at you and you knock the ball down, you should be able to throw the guy out. But there's an exception to the rule, and that's the speed of Rajay Davis.
Orlando Cabrera steps in. Cabrera, the first pitch he saw from Swarzak, lined to single to right. Cabrera had a good series against the Orioles, 5 for 12, and he scored 4 runs. And we just saw Matt Wieters, the young catcher for the Orioles. You talked about his size, Ray, about 6'4". Joe Mauer, at least according to the media guide, is 6'5".
Yeah. Yeah, he is every bit of that. But he's very quick behind the plate. Even with his size, a
little flare to right. That'll drop for a hit. Davis will stop that second. Cabrera is 2 for 2.
Let me talk about reading the outfielders where they're playing the ball off the bat. Rajay Davis might have been got a fake like he's going to run, then stopped, but he had the second baseman, Casilla, headed towards second, so it definitely opened up the right side. But he opted not to run, kind of held up to make sure the ball went through. And also Kadire playing very shallow. I don't think he'd been able to get to his third anyway.
So 2 on, 1 out for Kennedy. He's had first and third and 1 out in the first, but could not score. But in talking about Mauer and his size, Ray, still want a catcher to set that low target. Got to be more difficult for a tall guy, right?
But he's able to do it. Wieters, we saw the weekend, the 2 games that he played, got very low, and it's got a gold glove, so that says a lot. Batting championship, batting title plus gold glove. That's low. He's not blocking the home plate umpire, Wally Bell, who is down low himself. The umpires always appreciate a catcher who stays down low, gives him a good target for the pitcher, but also enables the umpire to also get down and be able to call the pitches, see the ball without being blocked by the catcher.
You got the knee protectors. You see the close pitch. 1-2. There they are.
Actually, Matt Wieters was wearing those as well. Not that he's so much younger than Joe Mauer. Mauer is still very young himself. But
start saving your knees early.
Yeah. Yep. Especially if you're going to be around a long time, and both Mauer and Wieters expected to be around.
Kennedy slaps one foul. Well, we learned a lot about Adam Kennedy in the short time he's been with the A's, and one of those things is he can foul off some pitches, and I just felt like that was the sign of a good hitter. Foul them off until you get one you like. 2-2 now.
Well, I always think of great hitters and hitter-friendly parks, and no better than Fenway Park with a very little foul territory, and the batting champions that have come from the Red Sox because of that. Wade Boggs wasted more baseballs, fouling them in the seats. I mean, more souvenirs, you could say, but just fouled off pitch after pitch until he got one he liked.
That one not close. Swarzak showing a little frustration on the mound as his last two pitches have been way out of the strike zone. So now full count and good speed on the bases. Davis at second and Cabrera at first. See if they take off. Kennedy does a pretty good job of putting the ball in play.
Same ball he hit in the first inning. He hits it now. It's a base hit to left field. Where Denard Span is playing Kennedy is unbelievable. He played him almost on the foul line.
Runners not going. A little pop up to shortstop. Harris out. Davis is going to have to hurry up and get back, and he does, diving back. The runners were not moving on the pitch. So that's the second out.
Rajay getting in dangerous territory. Thing is, once he got to that point, he wasn't going to score anyway. With Span charging in from left field, and you'd rather be safe than sorry to take just the one base, third base, instead of thinking you're going to be able to score. So with his speed, able to get back without a throw.
So Jack Cust trying to get the A's on the board with a 2-out hit. Cust hit a fly ball to left field fairly deep in the first inning. He drives one center field. Gomez is over there to his left. He's got it side. Retired A strand of pair. We're headed to the fourth at the Coliseum. No score. So Josh Outman, Anthony Swarzak, Both pitching very well so far.
How about that picture? You see that? Nice cap, young child. It's like a home and road Twins cap.
Yeah. She held out, though. She said, you know what? I'm going with the green and gold.
Green and gold. You got the jersey and the cap. She's our favorite.
1-1 to Joe Mauer. So Mauer, Morneau, Cuddyer. So good challenge for Josh Outman here in the fourth. The numbers last year, 328, the average. Just 9 home runs for Joe Mauer.
Now that's an amazing thing to miss the month and came back. Question of when he was going to be able to come back. And then he's hit more home runs already than he did all last year. Which goes to show you he is a great hitter because he can hit for power and a great average as well. Right now over 400.
In his 4 full years in Minnesota, 9 home runs in 05, 13 in 06, 7 in 07, and 9 last year. So he really has not been a power hitter until this year. Twins people will tell you most of his home runs left center. Which, you know, watching him hit, that really doesn't surprise you. Bounces that one. Hanahan handles a tough hop, and that's the first down. Our leaderboard tonight brought to you by, as always, Firestone. Highest average by catchers through 34 games since 1954. Joe Mauer second. Don Slaught and the Pirates in 1992.
Mike Lavalier.
Wow. Another Pirate catcher. And of course, Mauer with a couple of batting titles. He's got one in 06 and then last year.
See, the thing that's helped Joe Mauer in those 4 years and make it the 5th year, he's played his 81 home games indoors. Oh, doesn't have to worry about the heat and humidity of the summer, right, Mikey?
Serious? Oh, man.
Well,
Mikey will agree with anything he's
there's a lot to be
dibs.
said about that, you know. You know what it's like in the Midwest in the summer.
It's beautiful.
Your dad's out on the farm and you're in there eating pie, letting him work.
That's not the way it was. 2-2 to Justin Morneau.
I really like the way Josh Outman is pitching. Of course, he had a chance to have an early 1-0 lead. Did not happen. And so far, he is doing a great job in getting the 2 tough lefties out in this inning. There's the slider that he wanted to throw in the first inning that ended up striking Morneau out on a 3-2 fastball. This time he gets him in a 2-2 slider, the same pitch that Morneau checked his swing. Didn't swing. This might have been out of the strike zone, but too close to take. And it's a sharp breaking ball from Josh Outman.
Big swing and a miss by Michael Cuddyer. 3 strikeouts for Outman, and he has not walked anybody. Rookie pitchers, Outman 4th on the strikeout list. Bailey 5th. Bailey's a reliever. It's going to be a base hit for Cuddyer. And that breaks up a stretch of 10 consecutive Twins hitters retired by Outman.
Number 23, Brendan Harris.
So Brendan Harris, the 5th place hitter, will step in. Harris playing shortstop. The Twins' regular shortstop is on the disabled list. That's Nick Punto.
And there are other ones on the disabled list with the Rays, Jason Bartlett.
Pretty good left-handed pitcher Glenn Perkins on the disabled list as well for the Twins. Perkins, 12-game winner last year, so they're missing a couple parts, their shortstop and one of their starters. But any team with any kind of injuries, we're not going to get any sympathy from the Athletics, that's for sure. A's have had their share of injuries again this year, but have battled through it and now playing very good baseball.
Nomar likes the sunflower seeds also.
Yep. You some. That's the bubble gum. So the normal rotation would be seeds and then bubble gum.
Yeah.
Just kind of clean it out a little bit.
Right. Get the juices flowing again back in your mouth after all the salt. Cotton candy. You don't get much sleep with that.
No. 3-1 now to Brendan Harris. Delman Young is in the on-deck circle. The game in Texas, the Blue Jays with a 6-3 lead over the Rangers. And it's the bottom of the ninth, so Texas will need a big comeback. Just read today, Ray, where Ron Washington had his option picked up for 2010. So congratulations to Ron Washington.
Very deserving.
Deserves that.
Absolutely.
So Wash will be the manager in Texas into next year. Just a bit high, and that's a walk. So the 3-2 pitch misses. 2 on, 2 out for Delman Young.
Number 21, Delman Young.
How about that? First walk in 4 games. For the starters, that is. Very impressive. Delman Young is very aggressive. He swings early and often. Be something Kurt Suzuki is going to talk to Outman about, just to make sure. Fall behind and get a base hit with a 1 strike and then a 3-2 miss. You have a tendency maybe to try to get ahead, and Delman Young is type of hitter, maybe looking for the pitch that you're trying to get ahead with.
And Delman Young just not doing what the Twins had hoped. This year, just a .233 average with 1 home run. Remember, this is the guy that the Twins traded Matt Garza and Jason Bartlett for to the Rays a couple years ago. First overall pick in 2003 by the Rays. Hits that one hard. Cabrera on the backhand, stumbles, throws to second, not in time. Very close play at second. Cabrera just stumbled a little bit, and that may have slowed him down, although he still made a very nice play.
Well, that was the only play to go to second, and they stumbled right there. By the time he gathered himself and threw, good stretch by Kennedy, but not enough time as Harris able to get in safely at second. The Twins trying to make something happen with 2 outs. A walk and infield hit followed the Dyer base hit with 2 outs.
So it is a hit. They're loaded for Carlos Gomez. Watch with Gomez. He is very, very fast. And that, of course, comes into play. Anything on the ground with the bases loaded, you do have a force everywhere.
Excellent play by Kurt Suzuki. The ball almost hit Gomez. He had to go after it. Ball running hard off the plate.
Kadire, Harris, Young are the runners. Changeup stays high, and now it's 2-0. Gomez does not have a home run this year. He's got 4 RBIs. 3-0.
I figure he has to throw 2 strikes and maybe 3. Gomez decides he wants to take a couple of strikes.
Gomez has just 9 walks on the year and an on-base percentage under 300. That one's right in there for a strike.
94 on a 3-0 fastball, not conceding that he was going to be taking.
That one's outside. He walked in. So Josh Outman walks a run in, and this has all happened with 2 outs. Cuddyer scores. Just haven't seen this in a while.
Number 20, Matt Tolbert.
We got 2 of the best hitters, and Howard and Morneau out to start the inning, and then 4 on base, a couple of walks, a couple of base hits, and so they're trying to minimize the damage, get back in the dugout.
Matt Tolbert is the hitter. Tolbert just off the end of the bat. Tolbert's a switch hitter. Hit a fly ball to left field in the 3rd inning. Line drive, right field, base hit. Harris scores. They're going to wave Delmon Young. Cunningham's throw is up the line, and that's a 2-out, 2-run single by Matt Tolbert. Wasn't a bad pitch down in the strike zone, but Tolbert just went the other way with it.
First pitch changeup for a strike and a fastball. And the way Kurt Suzuki went after the ball, almost like as a cross-up. Like he was looking, maybe breaking balls, getting ready to block the ball.
Number 25.
Strong throw, but offline, way offline. But that was Tolbert dropping the headed bat on the ball, right field.
Edgar Gonzalez starts to loosen up. Outman has thrown 75 pitches, and we're in the 4th inning. Carlos Gomez went all the way to 3rd. Hanahan, a tough play. Throws to first to get Lexi Casillas side retired. A 3 spot for the Twins as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Right, channel 89. Get your Comcast digital cable box for free, folks. It's free. Trust me. If you're having trouble finding and getting channel 89 and have a digital cable box, just call 1-800-COMCAST. How much does it cost? Free.
free.
Again,
That's it.
1-800-COMCAST. They'll get one to you. You will then have access to Channel 89, Comcast Sportsnet California, the new home of the Oakland A's.
And while you're there, if you don't have the high definition box,
Just
you
get one.
Yeah, just get it at the same time, and you're hooked up. You've got it perfectly set up to watch all the A's games in high definition and Comcast.
And the agreement between the A's and Comcast Sportsnet California, it's pretty long. So you might as well just get it taken care of. You're going to be watching the A's on Channel 89.
Probably about the time Tyler Crosby's in the big leagues. They've been looking for a renewal about that time, so that is good. That's very good.
Matt Holliday leading it off, and quickly a 3-0 count. Holliday, Giambi, and Suzuki. Swarzak has not walked anybody in the game, but he has now. A 4-pitch walk leading off the bottom of the 4th. That is one of those things that will drive a manager crazy, because in the top half of the inning, Swarzak's teammates scored him 3 runs, and you see it happen a lot.
Well, he's got down to 2 jams. The A's have had a couple of opportunities to score. They have not done it in the first and the third. Maybe a leadoff walk will be the beginnings of good things to happen.
Outside to Jason Giambi, and Joe Mauer is going to have a chat with Swarzak, who's thrown 5 consecutive balls to open up the bottom of the 4th. Giambi struck out in the 2nd inning. Swarzak has 3 strikeouts. Two and 0. Ooh, 7 straight balls by Swarzak.
Thinking about it now. 7 pitches, I think all 7 have been fastballs. And he was throwing quite a few changeups earlier. Some hitters he started with a changeup. He's aiming it now.
Yep.
Rick Anderson maybe has found something that he has noticed, and maybe just saying let it go. Mentioned Ron Gardenhire, a great manager he has been, following just the Tom Kelly. I mean, that's been it basically in World Championships. But look at Mike Scioscia. He has had his staff with him for now 10 years. Same with Ron Gardenhire and Stel Masick. Gardenhire, the manager, Stel Masick, bullpen coach, and Jerry White, of course, from the Bay Area, still on the staff. There's Jerry.
Rick Anderson's been the pitching coach since 2002. Kurt Suzuki steps in. That pitch is high. 9 straight balls here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, you figure fastball is the easiest pitch to throw a strike. You also realize if you can't throw a strike with the fastball in 9 pitches, he's not had any success throwing a strike. You say, well, maybe try something else.
And he did, and that didn't work either.
Remember yesterday, the A's got 1 hit in the first inning, scored 3.
I'm telling you, 4 walks and a hit batter. There's a strike. So 2-1 the count. Suzuki hit a fly ball to center field in his first at bat. Bounces that one to Mike Gallego. So now 2-2. So Swarzak has come back and got back in the strike zone. Holiday at second, Giambi at first. They both walked. Hit hard. Harris on a dive is going to go to third, and they get the out there. Terrific play by Brendan Harris. Only play he had was at third, and that's where he went.
But of course, it takes heads up by the shortstop as well as the third baseman Tolbert, and Suzuki sounded like he might have cracked his bat, but Harris has made one error, had another ball off his chest, came up quickly, and the throw to third. And Holiday realizing once he saw Harris dive for the ball and try to take an angle, maybe take a ball in the back, but was not able to accomplish that, and big out for the Twins.
Strike to Aaron Cunningham with a changeup, 81 miles per hour. Cunningham struck out swinging in the second. Cunningham has a modest 6-game hitting streak going. It's really the second shot or third shot they've had against Swarzak. He's been in trouble most of the game. He did have a 3-up, 3-down second inning. A's have yet to break through against him. Nothing else. His pitch count is rising. It's at 65. Cunningham. And a half swinging, half trying to get out of the way.
A couple of checks
inside.
Check swings. Kennedy check swing last inning to shortstop after he had battled a 3-2 count. Pitches get inside, try to get out of the way. You turn your body into the ball instead of away, and that's where you get the check swings.
Again, the 2-2. And that hits Cunningham in the head. Cunningham getting closely looked at, obviously, by head athletic trainer Steve Sales.
Unnecessary booing by the fans, obviously not intentional. His control has not been that great in this inning, Swarzak that is. So, and Cunningham with a couple of strikes, just trying to protect. And it's nice to see the smile.
Well, the baseball rolled all the way to the first base coach's box.
Well, that was as solid hit in the head as you'll ever see. It wasn't a glancing blow. He says the head athletic trainer, of course, asking the important questions, just trying to make sure that he is aware of where he is, and so it's like he's all right. That's good.
Now batting, third baseman, number 22, Jack Hanahan.
So Cunningham on board with Suzuki at second, Giambi at third. They're loaded, and it's Jack Hanahan.
And there's your right fielder, Barton, Derek Barton. If Cunningham has to come out. Ryan Sweeney on the disabled list. Travis Buck on the DL. Jack Custer's DH.
1-0 to Hanahan. Drive, left center, and that's going to get down, and it goes to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Here comes Cunningham. He will score.
Oh, what a great swing by Jack Hanahan. Stayed inside, and enough slice on the ball that Gomez, with his great speed, could not get to it. Just kept slicing away, and that was a thing of beauty to go to the gap. And Aaron Cunningham hit in the head, scoring all the way from first without a throw. And nobody happier than Jack Hanahan as these games going back to his hometown in the Twin Cities.
That's right.
So, great swing, clears the bases, and makes it a tie game after the Twins took a lead in the top of the inning.
And that's the first hit in the inning. A couple of walks, a hit batter.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You take and get whatever you can get, and the A's have done it.
Rajay Davis had a base hit in the third. At the knees, a strike, 1-1.
Dr. Schwartz, one of the A's team doctors, checking out Aaron Cunningham. So Dr. Pont, Alan Pont, in the visiting dugout over the weekend with the Orioles. Always great to have the doctors on hand, and hope you never need them, but they're there in case you do. Well, it's a great swing. Jack Hanahan has always done a very good job of staying back, and that really helped him. Run, Jason. Suzuki right up your back, and here comes Cunningham, able to stand up without a throw, and we'll see how he is after running from first to home, if he's able to go to the outfield.
Hit hard. Harris, a terrific play, gets up, throws to first for the second out.
I think he's upset he made the error in the first inning, because he has played spectacular baseball ever since. As if to say, let's forget about the first error, and what a tremendous play. This ball is headed to give the A's the lead. Instead, great play to his left and threw out a very fast Rajay Davis.
Think about the 2 plays he's made in this inning.
Just think of the same thing. Got Suzuki, robbed him of a hit. Get in the force at third.
Could be a huge inning for the A's. 3 in, and 1 more out there as Cabrera steps in and takes the strike. Cunningham going up to the clubhouse. We do not know what that means. It could just be going up there momentarily, but we will obviously keep a close eye on that.
I'd like to think if he's going to leave the game, he'd take his glove with him, whatever else he brought down, but let's hope he's okay. That's the main thing. Masayala, who is loosening as the A's had bullpen activity themselves in the top of the inning, as this has been a tough 4th inning for both starting pitchers.
1-2 to Cabrera, who is 2 for 2 in the ball game. A couple of singles, just a bit high. Now the A's extra players: Powell, obviously, Barton, Petit, and Bobby Crosby. And we don't believe Bobby Crosby's here.
That is our understanding.
Down the right field line, but it's going to drop foul.
Well, Susie and Matt Weiss on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Nice Wednesday, and Gina and Bobby Crosby today. Just the beginning of a lot of babies to be born in the Oakland Athletics team this summer.
Landon Powell and his wife, Michael Wirtz and his wife, expecting.
Mark Ellis, Sarah. Yeah, so it's
again 2-2 to Cabrera with Hanahan a good lead at second. And now full count. Long look in by Swarzak, as he has had a busy inning.
Now, both pitchers started this half inning with about 48 pitches. Now they're both approaching 80.
I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot.
Well, it looks like Aaron Cunningham is going to take the rest of the game off, and that's the reason he didn't take his outfielder's gloves, because Derek Barton needs it.
That's a good call.
Good shot by our crew and director, Tommy.
It's a walk.
That's from a changeup, 3-2, and Rick Anderson is making the call. And it's not Ron Gardenhire, it's the pitching coach. And
so Luis Ayala is coming in relief of Anthony Swarzak. So Swarzak goes 3 2/3. He's out of the game. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the fourth.
The Colorado Rockies, Friday, June 26th, 7:05 start here at the Coliseum. Stick around after the game and enjoy the post-game fireworks show, and you'll know they're always the best. Brought to you by the Contra Costa Times and the Oakland Tribune. Tickets are on sale now. Call 877-493-BALL. And some fireworks in this half inning with a Jack Hanahan bases clearing double. Anthony Swarzak did not make it out of the fourth inning after his club gave him a 3-0 lead in the top half of the inning.
Luis Ayala is the new pitcher. Twins signed him as a free agent in the offseason, his 23rd appearance. 31-year-old right-hander. He's been quite a bit of time with the Expos / Nationals, and then Nationals traded him to the Mets last year, mid-season, and now with the Twins. Kennedy slices one foul. So the 8th man to hit in this inning for the Athletics is Adam Kennedy. He's scored 3 times. Kennedy reached on the air. It was by the shortstop Brendan Harris in the first, and then popped out to Harris in the third. Drive to left. Span is back, and he's going to get there. He was playing very, very close to the line for Kennedy. A's score 3 times. We're headed to the 5th. It's a 3-3 game. He's been out there before a little bit.
Yes, he has.
So Kennedy in right, Petit at second, and obviously Aaron Cunningham is out of the game.
Denard Span.
So we certainly will pass on any information we get about Aaron Cunningham. We hope he's okay. Top of the order for the Twins: Span, Mauer, Morneau against Josh Outman. Twins got 3 in the top of the 4th.
After getting Mauer and Morneau out, just start the inning. That's the strange part about the inning. So back to the top with 3 left-handers for Outman.
Span, the fly ball to left, to ground out to second. So he's 0 for 2. 3 runs and 4 hits so far for the Minnesota Twins. Outman has walked 2 and struck out 3. Span chokes up a little bit, stands right on top of home plate.
Stands on top of the plate and hardly strides and swings almost when the ball's on top of him. Able to foul off some tough pitches from Outman in this at bat.
Bounce to Petit. And he flips to first in time. One out here in the fifth. That brings us to our poll question. Make sure you visit the A's page on csncalifornia.com to vote. Tonight's poll, it was featured on the pregame show. Which rookie starter has been the most impressive this season? Is it Outman, Mazzaro, Cahill, or Anderson? Look for the answers in tonight's A's postgame live. For exclusive video, exclusive blogs, and much more, log on to csncalifornia.com. There's the guys. Vin Mazzaro on the left. So it looks like Mazzaro, pitching yesterday, will pitch Friday in San Francisco, and he will be opposed by Tim Lincecum, the Cy Young Award winner.
And he get to hit.
So that'll be a fun matchup to watch, and he'll get to hit. We don't know if he's excited about that, but.
Well, I'm assuming the A's don't skip anybody in the rotation, stay on turn, then he would start against the Padres and get to hit also. He'll get 2 of the starts, the 9 on the road.
1-2 to Joe Mauer. Mauer a single and a ground ball to third. And he swings and misses at a slider. Strikeout number 4 for Josh Outman.
They got Morneau on the same slider last inning. After Mauer grounded out. So has to be a very good slider. If you can get one of the best hitters in the American League to swing and miss as badly as he did.
Has to be a good slider to get Justin Morneau to swing and miss, and Morneau has struck out twice. Once looking, once swinging.
That's who the Twins get to face next too. A's have a few lefties in the series, like 3 of the 4.
Morneau hangs in there and fouls it down the third base line. It'll be Anderson tomorrow, Braden on Wednesday, Cahill on Thursday.
Look at the setup of Justin Morneau and thinking back the All-Star game at Yankee Stadium last year when he beat Josh Hamilton, the home run hitting contest. It's pretty good matchups for the next 3 games.
Strike 3 called. Fastball right on the outside corner. Looked like a pretty good pitch. So Morneau has struck out 3 times in the hands of Josh Outman. Bottom of the 5th coming up, tied at 3. boxes only from the Postal Service, a simpler way to ship. Coliseum crowd has seen quite a bit of action in the first 4.5 innings. It's a 3-3 game between the A's and the Twins. Jack Cust, did he just untie it? Oh, I do believe he did. Cust homers for 3 A's.
There's a beautiful high towering shot by Jack Cust. And gives the A's the lead. Change up and Jack crushed it. 83 miles an hour and see the bat speed. Wow. That's a boogie whip there for you. He gets through that change up. He kind of a little pause in his swing and then unloaded. Listen. Oh. That sounds great. Double figures for Big Jack. 10th home run. And wow, that's love to walk with.
So Matt Holliday had a spin out of the way of the first pitch from Ayala. The outside corner strike, 1-1. Holliday has hit into a double play and he has walked. Another pitch right on the outside corner. Now, last night in baseball, we had an 18-inning game. Tonight, 15 innings and still playing in Atlanta. The Braves and the Pirates.
And how about it?
Did you see that box score from
How about a position player, Josh Wilson, picking up the loss?
Unbelievable. Diamondbacks and Padres played 18 innings last night. 5 hours, 45 minutes. But I thought that looking at the pitchers, it was the best thing.
What AJ said, though, he had pitchers lined up for 22 innings. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good
manager.
Padres used 10 pitchers in that game. Arizona used 8, but one of the pitchers, as you said, was a position player.
And the last one was a starting pitcher, and Chad Gaudin.
Chad Gaudin.
We're happy to see Chad doing well. The Padres.
So here is my question. So you're the Padres. You're trailing 6-1 going to the 9th inning. You score 5 in the 9th to tie it at 6. Great. Then you play 9 more innings and you lose. If you had to do it all over again.
And they were no hit, weren't they? But I think the relievers pitched a no
like
hit,
that,
no
yeah.
9 inning, no hitter. The relievers. Yep.
Oh, man. So they tied it with 2 outs in the bottom or top of the 9th, I believe.
And David Eckstein hit a 3-run home run.
Yeah,
One of the most unlikely guys hit a home run.
So that's the good news. Then you played 9 more innings and lose on a 3-run home run.
An opposite field off at an infield.
Well, the game was in San Diego, so it was the Eckstein's home run was in the bottom of the 9th. Well, we played 18 innings here a couple years ago with the Dodgers.
I think it's right.
It was 17 or 18 innings.
Yeah, I think all the guys in the dugout with the rally caps and like they're in college. Of course, all of them are college anyway, but brought their rally caps and rally whatever to help them win.
You better win if you're going to play 18. One and two to Jason Giambi. Jack Cust with a leadoff homer. They're in the bottom of the 5th to give the A's the lead. Giambi a strikeout and a walk, and he has scored a run. Scored the first run of the 3 runs scored by the A's in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss with a slider. So after the home run, Ayala comes back, strikes out Holiday, and strikes out Giambi.
Backdoor slider, and G fooled on the off-speed pitch, a little bit out in front, and we look back, can't believe he missed it.
Two outs for Kurt Suzuki. First pitch strike to Kurt. Fly ball to center field. And Kurt reached on a fielder's choice. It was in the 4th inning. Scored a run.
Did a little drop down to the right-handers, and then nailing the outside part of the plate. Did it. Holiday finally struck him out on a high fastball. Dropped down a couple of sliders perfectly to Suzuki.
Casilla now starts to get loose. Just got up. So the pitch count for Josh Outman, we'll certainly keep an eye on.
The last inning saved him. So maybe batter to batter in the 6th inning. At least he has a lead going into the 6th inning.
Pop up, foul territory. Morneau, a long run as well for Casilla, and neither of them are going to get it. He got it too. Another 1-2 to Kurt Suzuki. Just off the plate. Ayala tried to drop down that time. Not close, so the count full. It's Gregorio Petit who is now in the game. Payoff to Suzuki. Will pop up, shallow center, and Gomez is not going to get it, and it's a base hit for Kurt Suzuki, his first of the night. And he's now with 6 hits in the ball game.
A nice battle by Kurt Suzuki, even though he went after a high fastball, probably out of the strike zone. But hit it hard enough and soft enough, and a triangle in center field. I think he's very happy, even though he got a base hit.
His thumb is probably throbbing. Here's Gregorio Petit, his first at bat. If you're just joining us, Aaron Cunningham hit by a pitch in the 4th inning right in the helmet. He stayed in the game and ended up scoring a run. But he was taken out after that, and Adam Kennedy moved out to right field. Petit is now the second baseman. Sean Henn, the left-hander, getting loose for the Twins. Petit got 3 at-bats in that series against the Orioles. He was 0 for 3.
Two of the 3 games played against the Orioles over the weekend. 2 hours and 14, 2 hours and 13. The other 2:42.
That's not bad.
Don't think this one's going to make it tonight. Those were excellent. Very quick, well-played games. Between the 4th and the 5th, I think we've spent at least an hour.
So what you're saying is some games tend to drag them. Looks like some Twins fans down the right field line. I saw a Rod Carew jersey.
Not a bad one to have. Between Rod Carew, Harmon Killebrew, Tony Olivo.
There's one.
Rodney.
The light blue. The light blue of the 70s.
Yes, that's right. When they played at the old outdoor Metropolitan Stadium.
It was cold.
When it was cold and rainy.
Oh, man, was it cold. Petit strike 3 called on the outside corner. But Jack Cust, a long home run. It was his 10th of the year. And what it did gives the A's the lead at 4-3 after 5. Well, this year when you can't be home to watch the A's on Comcast Sportsnet California, check out MLB.tv. You can log on to the internet to watch every out-of-market game of the season live. For more details, visit OaklandAthletics.com, where baseball is always on. Why not?
Except when it's raining in Minnesota.
Boy. Josh Outman back to the mound, and he faces Kadire, Harris, and Young. It looks like the Atlanta Braves won the game in the bottom of the 15th inning. Kadire shoots one hard but foul.
I think it was the 15th.
Bottom of the 15th against the Pirates. 7-6 is your final. Kadire 1 for 2. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
That's what's great about Josh Outman. Struggled as he did in the 4th inning. Very upset and regrouped. Struck out a couple last inning. That's 94-mile-an-hour fastball perfectly thrown to Kadire in the outside corner. A great shot with the overhead camera right on the corner with a swing and a miss at 94. So he is able to maintain the velocity as his pitch count starts to rise.
6 strikeouts now. And 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 here in the 6th. Brendan Harris, one of those strikeout victims, looking in the second. He walked and scored in the fourth. Pitch drops just a bit low to even the counter, make it 2-0. Excuse me. Three and 0.
He may be walking back halfway to second base, wondering where the strike zone is.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent pitch. Outman mysteriously lost the strike zone in that fourth inning when he walked a couple, and that was the inning that the Twins scored their 3 runs. And that pitch called strike, 3-1. Delmon Young waiting in the on-deck circle. On the ground, Petit has it, and that's the second out.
Great comeback by Outman. That's impressive. And I think what Kurt Young did, especially to see his pitcher walk towards second base, and Kurt Suzuki, that is, who walked out, maybe to calm him down a little bit, came back and threw a strike, and then had a ground ball out on the next pitch.
Delmon Young swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Casilla he's going back to put his jacket on, but he's been down there throwing plenty, so he's ready to go. 0-2.
I think Craig Breslow is going to get that out.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. 7 strikeouts for Josh Outman through 6 innings. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's the A's 4 and the Twins 3. California is brought to you by Cache Creek Splash of Cash. It's giving away $12,000 cash daily. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. Bottom of the 6th inning from the Coliseum. A new pitcher for the Twins. It's the left-hander Sean Henn. So Luis Ayala goes an inning and a third. Gives up the home run to Cust.
Pretty good fastball by the left-handers. He makes his 9th appearance for Ron Gardenhire. 0-1. That fastball, low 90s. The mid-90s with a slider and a changeup.
Sean Henn, a big guy, 6'4", 225 pounds. Swing and a miss by Hanahan. Jack Hanahan has the big hit in this ball game, a bases clearing double. That was in the 4th inning. And tied the game at 3. The Cust home run gives the A's the lead 4-3. Michael Wirtz gets up. The A's bullpen. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. A lot of strikeouts tonight. That's 7 strikeouts by A's hitters. Twins have struck out 7 times.
The fastball inside corner, maybe just a little bit off the plate. But Bell, that's his strikeout call, rang him up.
Ninth place hitter Rajai Davis steps in. Strike down around the knees. The Rangers lost tonight 6-3 at home to the Blue Jays. Jansen the winner, Feldman the loser. Feldman his first loss of the year. Adam Lind hit a couple of home runs for the Blue Jays, number 10 and 11, and he had 4 RBIs, so he led the Blue Jays offensively. 6-3 the final. Angels are off, and so are the Seattle Mariners. Yankees won today 5-3 over Tampa Bay. Yankees pick up a half game, and they in first place in the AL East. Teixeira homered, Swisher homered, and Andy Pettitte got them 5-3 over the Rays. So Tampa Bay 6 games out now, and they slide back under the 500 mark.
Well, Teixeira, they talked about his slow start. Well,
18 he's got.
He is forgotten about his slow start.
18 home runs.
Between he and Sabathia, 2 of the huge free agent signees, as well as A.J. Burnett, all 3 doing well.
Brendan Harris, the shortstop, flips it across, 2 outs.
Rajai figured out that Harris could play shortstop, so wrong guy to hit it to.
Yep.
Shortstop, number 18.
So top of the order in Orlando Cabrera, who's had a good night. Cabrera doing his job in the leadoff spot. Single in the first, single in the third, and a walk in the fourth. So Cabrera's been on base 3 times. He has not scored a run yet tonight. His career, Cabrera, 360 career hitter against the Twins. That's the highest mark he has against any team in baseball. So maybe we shouldn't be surprised he's 2 for 2. Down the right field line and foul. Teixeira, 364 career hitter against the Twins, but Cabrera second on that list. Rick Leach, that's a name from the past. I remember Rick Leach.
As well as Kenny Lofton. Yeah. Remember those guys.
Rick Leach is, if you remember him, a left-handed hitting outfielder. Played in the 80s. Two and two to Cabrera. Liner, Span coming in. He gets it on a line drive. And that's the side retired. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 7th from the Coliseum. 4-3-8.
Just a reminder that the San Francisco Giants are coming to town but we get on national TV instead. Well, thank you so much for coming out to the game for so many years. I'd like to present with a gift certificate for dinner for two in the Westside Club. Thank you. Thank you all for being such a good fan.
A's with a 4-3 lead, 7th inning. And that is how many strikeouts Josh Outman finished the night with. 7 in 6 innings. So Josh Outman's going to sit back. See if that bullpen can get the final 9 outs. Michael Wirtz will take over here in the 7th. 28th appearance. What does that tell you?
He's on pace for
every other game.
81 games
81.
on the season. That's all right.
He's been terrific.
So is he. Craig Breslow, the only lefty in the bullpen, has been very good.
Carlos Gomez is the hitter. A ground ball to short tonight, and he walked with the bases loaded.
You know, some pitchers just have what's called the rubber arm, the type of arm that can just go out and throw and throw and throw. And none better than Mike Marshall. In the early 70s, over 100 appearances out of the bullpen.
Those weren't 1 or 2 batter appearances either.
But Michael Wirtz seems to have that type of arm. Let's hope that's the case and stays that way throughout the season.
Slider, swing and a miss.
Because he's been outstanding, and especially with the sliders he just threw to Gomez.
Number 20, Matt Tolbert.
Again, it looks like a splitter, but it is a slider. Still, the A's are without one pitcher in their staff, starters or relievers, that throws a splitter. Very unusual in today's baseball. But when you have a slider that looks like a splitter, it works just as well, maybe a little bit easier on your elbow.
Matt Tolbert steps in. Tolbert a switch hitter. His first 2 at bats right-handed. Hit a 2-run single in the 4th inning. So that's the big hit in the game for the Twins. Gave them a 3-0 lead at the time. Michael Wirtz, his last outing was yesterday. Wirtz pitched just a third of an inning. Just 7 pitches. 2-2. Alexi Casilla is the on-deck hitter, another switch hitter. Tolbert, did he go around? Oh. No. It's John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, down at third.
Well, the angle of the bat. It's a good call by the veteran John Hirschbeck.
Payoff pitch. Slap foul. So, Ray, we do have an update on Aaron Cunningham, and according to the report, he does have a concussion.
Yeah.
And he's been taken to the hospital for precautionary measures, obviously. So we hope everything is okay with Aaron Cunningham. Another 3-2, and it's slapped foul. This is what happened with Aaron Cunningham, and it was in the 4th inning.
Well, remarkably, he's able to go to first base and score on Jack Hanahan's double all the way from first. And let's hope he's okay. It's tough.
Good slider there by Wertz, and Tolbert just able to get a piece of it. So for Josh Outman, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 102 pitches. So another very strong outing by an ace starter. Wertz walks Tolbert with 1 out here in the 7th.
And of course, maintained his velocity right to the end.
Number 25.
And 113 pitches and 6 2/3 in his last start at Chicago.
Well, I don't want to say that Josh Outman's been a pleasant surprise, and it wouldn't be fair to him, but there was some question coming into the season. Where would Outman fit in as a starter, as a reliever? And there's still people who like him more as a reliever, but he's been outstanding.
Well, the one term or the word I don't like to use is overachieved. How do you know if a guy's overachieving if he's never really had the chance?
That's a very good call.
You know, because he's just pitched very consistently, and considering his youth and inexperience in rotation, he, along with the other starters, did a great job. I think he came over from Philadelphia, Big Joe Blanton going to Philly, and got a chance to come to the big leagues last year, get a little experience, and here he is in the big leagues as a major league starter every 5th day and doing well.
Casilla on a 2-0 pitch tries to drop a bunt down and rolls it foul. Chilly night.
See, they don't have those at the Metrodome.
They don't have to. Oh, well, they'll have them in that new ballpark, though. Oh, baby,
right.
They'll have them.
That's right.
Every seat's going to have one. Every seat's going to have an umbrella when it rains. Swing and a miss. The runner goes. Throw to second base is not in time. It's a stolen base for Tolbert. The count to Casilla is now 2-2. Pretty good jump by Tolbert. It really was a pretty decent throw by Suzuki, but just too late.
Well, again, you say, well, how's a good throw if the ball bounced? But it was a perfect throw. It just happened to bounce. And the difference is that Cabrera, instead of having the throw once he saw it bounce, had to bring his glove up to make the catch.
Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. And it was the slider, and Casilla strikes out. So a big out there.
And Michael Wirtz looking in the dugout as the lefty's now coming up, and he's going to get a chance to get Span, or is Breslow coming in, but that's an outstanding slider in the dirt. The swing, like you see it, not able to make contact.
So Span, Mauer, Morneau, the 3 left-handed hitters at the top of the order. Strike with a fastball right on the outside corner. Span is 0 for 3. He's coming off a series in Seattle, the 3-game series, where he was 2 for 12. Lays off that pitch. These pitchers have 9 strikeouts today. Justin Morneau right there has struck out 3 times. I will not say that very often. Well, with the runner on second, and obviously a very important time in the game, I'm going to make sure that pitcher catcher on the same page. Span a couple of ground outs and a fly out. 1-1 pitch. Grounded. Petit. Couple steps to his right. He's got it. Side retired. Twins do not score. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. 4-3 A's. Looking for win number 7 in a row. We're pleased to be joined by the starting pitcher tonight for the Oakland Athletics downstairs, Josh Outman. Josh, another terrific outing. You've stringed together really good starts all year, but the last 6 have been extra special. How'd you feel tonight?
I felt good, going into the 3rd inning or 4th inning there. I kind of got a little erratic. Left some balls, not where I wanted to put them. Those 2 walks in any inning, really kill you. But, a couple of infield hits, things didn't quite go how I wanted to. But other than that, I felt good. I came back, felt like I came back strong in my last 2 innings and, give the team a chance to win. And, every confidence that the bullpen's going to hold on to it right here.
Well, a chance for you to pick up the win thanks to Jack Custon's home run. But, we were talking about the 3 lefties at the top of the batting order. Of course, you've had excellent success against them. And especially tonight, Mauer and Morneau, he struck out 4 times. How do you explain the success you've had against the lefties, the type of pitches you're throwing, or just generally speaking, the success you've had?
Just, having an approach. Morneau and Mauer are both, obviously they're both, a couple of the best left-hand hitters in the game, but they both have a similar approach. So just, keeping the ball in on them first because they can really cover the outside part of the plate as well as anybody does, and then keeping the slider down because they're really good at slapping that the other way. So just had to keep them honest with the fastballs in and out, and then use a slider to get them to swing over the top of it.
Josh, you said you got all the confidence in the world in that very good A's bullpen to get you the final 9 outs. They got 3. How do you watch the rest of the game? Are you the kind that gets pretty nervous watching? Do you go back upstairs, or do you stay down here in the dugout?
No, I'm gonna go upstairs. I just kind of go about my business, get my ice and all that, and watch the game on TV with the training staff.
Josh, I have to ask you, just in the 6th inning, of course, you came back after giving up the runs, and then you struck out 3 of the 4, and then you got 3-0 to Harris, and you kind of stepped behind the mound towards second base, and your catcher came up. What was happening in that particular situation?
Just a couple of calls I thought were pretty marginal.
So did we.
Where the considering the strike zone he'd been calling all night, I thought I thought he might have taken a little away from me, and I didn't. I was kind of aggravated with that point in the game. I knew it was going to be my last inning, so I didn't want to add a walk to it, and then I walked myself out of a couple of games later on, and I just frustrated. So Zook just came out, we talked, and got it over with.
Great job. Outstanding. And that's why the catchers are back there. But an outstanding job, Josh. And we'll hope the A's can get 6 more outs for a win and a win for you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Josh.
That's, again, the job of the catcher.
Yeah.
I noticed that. And can't give enough credit to Kurt Suzuki of what he has meant to the staff. And I think that's just a perfect example. He noticed it, and we noticed it. And, of course, those pitches he talked about, we thought were very close. Could have been 12 strikes. But Zook handled it and got through it. And open for 6 more outs.
Toward the shortstop, Brendan Harris, and that's the first out. One we talked about as well, what will Outman do with those 3 hitters at the top of the lineup, the 3 left-handed hitters, 1 for 9. So now 7 for 56 left-handed hitters against Josh Outman on the year. And I mean, we're not talking about any left-handed hitters as well. Maybe you could make it hard. Maybe the 2 best left-handed hitters in the American League.
Well, and those 2 guys are going to be in the lineup every day, regardless. I mean, Mauer, Morneau, I mean, they're going to be in there, regardless of the lefties in. And that's what Josh Outman, you give him credit for really handling those top 3 very good left-handers at the top of the batting order. And I thought a great recovery, too, just because he gave up the 3 runs. And, man, after that, the next 6 batters, he struck out 4. After giving up 3 runs. And so the 5th and the 6th came out very strong and just keeps impressing with his performances.
9 earned runs allowed in his last 6 starts for Josh Outman. So he's been terrific. His next start will be Saturday night. He'll get to swing the bat. 0-2 to Cust. Cust is 1 for 3 with the big home run in the 5th. Gave the A's the 4-3 lead.
And just think when Jack starts feeling 100%.
Yep. 10 home runs and 33 RBIs now for Cust.
Just past the quarter mark. So that's projected some very good numbers for Jack. He's been consistent in his 2 previous years, leading the A's in home runs and runs batted in.
Matt Guerrero loosening up. Right-hander. Sean Henn, the lefty, is into his 2nd inning of work. Very high down the left field line. It's a very long run for Denard Span, but he'll get there in foul territory.
That is tonight's Carl's Jr. in your face. Carl's Jr. in your face, and it is Justin Morneau. Strike with a fastball outside corner, and Josh came back with a breaking ball, striking him out with that pitch, and then throws him again with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Morneau questioned to Wally Bell, which I'm sure that's been happening more than once tonight, but
a little bit.
Justin Morneau, as they'll say, somebody's got to pay the fiddler for the strikeouts, and tonight Josh Outman got the better of it. It looks like those 2 at the top of the order going to see another lefty and Craig Breslow. So from the A's standpoint, with Michael Wirtz getting Denard Span, Breslow comes in to face the 2 lefties and Morneau and Mal Morneau. And you hope they don't come back up again. That's the key.
One more time and that'll do it. Matt Holliday is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's hit into a double play and struck out swinging. On the outside corner, and Matt didn't like that call at all. Just for a little walk. Holliday doesn't, not the kind of guy who complains a whole lot. But that pitch looked like it was outside. Sean Henn does the right thing. Go back out there. You never know.
Well, Wally Bell's on the inside, the left shoulder of the catcher, Joe Mauer. So again, here's the angle that he's looking at, and the pitch that was called to Holiday. He didn't like it.
So Holiday swings and misses, and he has struck out a couple times tonight. The A's hanging on to the lead, 4-3 after 7. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Nissan. Get to the Nissan 10 event for great deals on reliable vehicles. Look closer. Nissan delivers. A's with a 4-3 lead, 8th inning. We got some changes. Derek Barton takes over at first base. And Craig Breslow, the left-hander, comes on to face Mauer and Morneau.
And his one job is to do exactly that as Brad Ziegler loosens perhaps for Kadire.
So interesting matchup here. Breslow against the two very fine hitters in Mauer and Morneau, who are combined 1 for 6 tonight.
He might have thrown Tillman batting practice this spring. I mean, remember, he was with the Twins, and they did not want to let him go. A's were fortunate to pick him up, and so now he's facing the team that wore their uniform earlier. I think the hitter has a pretty good idea how Breslow throws.
Yeah. Mauer had a base hit in the first inning. This was a ground out and a strikeout. Brad Ziegler loosening up in the A's bullpen. After Morneau, it's Kadire, who's a right-handed hitter. Line drive, left field base hit. So Joe Mauer is 2 for 4.
Well, Matt Holliday does not argue many, but Wally Bell behind the plate, and this is our great overhead camera. Look at this shot here, and look at the strike, the pitch on the white chalk of the left-handed batter's box. Called a strike, and Matt, you're right. That pitch a good 3 to 4 inches outside. I think he's in the school of the Paul Schreiber that we had on that Friday night here.
And I think
similar strike zone.
When you're looking at it the way he is, the angle which you talk about a lot, there's no way for you to know that it's that it's 6 inches outside.
Exactly. And you know, a lot of cases it's a benefit of the doubt to the pitcher or the hitter and whoever. It's got to sad in the different setups and the way the umpires are. So from the pitcher catcher standpoint, you see an umpire do that. Then you go to the outside a little bit more and hope the angle is in your favor. In this case, Matt Holliday put him in the hole, and Ended up striking out on the breaking ball.
Oh, or 1-1 the count to Justin Morneau. Morneau drives one to left. Holiday back. He's got room and the warning track, and he makes the catch. So Justin Morneau is retired. He's 0 for 4, and Bob Guerin's coming out. So Breslow gave up the hit to Maurer, but was able to retire Morneau. And now Brad Ziegler's coming in to face Michael Cuddyer. One out here in the 8th inning. The A's with a 4-3 lead.
Dog Day presented by Avoderm Ultra Premium Pet Food. Tickets are $15 for each fan and a dog, with a $5 dog fee being donated to Dogs for Diabetics. Each guest receives an A's bandana and goodie bag with dog product samples. Space is limited for all the dogs, so order tickets now. OaklandAthletics.com. Got a dog?
Nope. Okay. We've had this discussion before. With 2 kids under the age of 5, you know who would be taking care of that dog?
That's true. I forgot you did say that. I remember that.
Me.
I'll keep asking until you get one and you can say it for real.
Thanks. Cuddyer swing and a miss. 1-1. So Ziegler, his job, get some right-handed hitters out. Cuddyer, Brendan Harris is in the on-deck circle. He's a right-handed hitter. Ground ball, and maybe just face one. Off the plate. Cuddyer has power. 9 home runs, 33 runs batted in.
The difference in that and the one for Holiday is the way Suzuki had to go after the ball. It looked like it might have been in the strike zone. Suzuki was inside. It was outside.
And that pitch a little up in the strike zone, and Cuddyer, he'd like to have another swing at that one. If you don't see that guy in the game in this series, that's a good thing. Joe Nathan, terrific closer for the Twins. Cuddyer off his foot. Remember Michael Cuddyer last year? He hurt his thumb, was out for quite a while, and then went on a rehab assignment. He was just about ready to come back to the big leagues. Fouled the ball off his leg, his foot, something like that, and got hurt again.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good player, but he's been banged up, and he's got a sore thumb now. As you can see, it's pretty well, or actually not a thumb, but his index finger. Rolled foul again.
Well, that's 6 pitches, and all 6 in the same location, fastball or sinker down and in, or that's where he hopes to get it. And of course, A's are hoping for a ground ball, but there is pretty good hole between third and short. And with the sinker thrown inside, you just have to hope that it's hit to one of the infielders, even though they are spread quite a ways apart. Going to throw him a slider. Nope.
That one bounced to third. Hanahan has it to second for one. Petit back to first. Double play. Ziegler got what he needed. The 5-4-3 double play. And we're headed to the bottom of the eighth. 4-3 A's. Bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. Scary moment in this game. Aaron Cunningham hit in the head with a pitch. He would leave the game innings later with the concussion, but not before he would score from first on that 3-run double by Jack Hanahan, and that 3-run double tied the game at 3. And then the A's would take the lead in the bottom of the 5th. A leadoff home run by Jack Cust, his 10th of the year. Josh Outman, another strong performance. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 102 pitches for Josh Outman. 3-5-1 for the Twins, 4-6-0 for the Athletics. AT&T, your nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Derek Barton gets his first at bat back in the big leagues for 2009. Swings at the first pitch and drives one to center. Carlos Gomez is there.
Well, the A's were hoping with all those sinkers down and into Michael Cuddyer that they would get a ground ball and it go to one of the guys on the left side. It was to Hanahan. Watch this. Great turn of double play by Gregorio Petit at second. A strong throw to get Cuddyer hustling down the line. And Brad Ziegler got the pitch he wanted. That was perfect. Great job, Zig.
Pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th. A's leading 4-3.
Now pitching for the Twins, number 54,
lead. And he will face a new pitcher, the right-hander Matt Guerrier. Another busy reliever, 28th appearance for Guerrier. Been a mainstay in the Twins bullpen for a while now. Guerrier really had an off year last year, ERA over 5. 2007, though, an ERA of 2.35. Andrew Bailey starts to loosen up for the Athletics. Kurt Suzuki tonight, a fly ball to center field. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run. That was in the 4th and singled in the 5th. 1 for 3. Toward left center, Denard Span runs it down. That was a heck of a play.
Well, Suzuki's been robbed a couple of times tonight. Harris got him at short, and Span with the speed in the outfield able to run this one down. And again, I don't think it was crisply hit. A little bit towards the end of the bat and hung up just enough for Span to use the speed to get to the ball.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And here's Gregorio Petit. Petit, this is his 2nd at bat. He struck out in his 1st at bat. And he's going to ground out 4-3 to end the bottom of the 8th. 9th inning coming up. Bailey, the closer, getting set to come in. He'll face Harris, Young, and Gomez. Sportsnet Central over on our sister station Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We'll have recaps from this game here and the Giants game in Florida. Randy Cross, the golf tournament. It'll be Scott Reese and Damon Andrews at the desk. And don't forget about the 49ers organized team activities. OTAs, that's an NFL term. Organized team activities. So get the guys together, put the pads on,
beat the heck out of each other.
Team activity. All right, here we go. 9th inning. Andrew Bailey comes in, and he is looking for the save. A's are looking for win number 7 in a row. Fastball, swing and a miss. 4-0 with a 1.98 ERA. Looking for save number 5. Brendan Harris is the hitter.
Remember the Saturday game? The A's had the big lead, 26 pitches for Andrew Bailey, and then came on yesterday, did a couple of strikeouts, saved the game. Although the Saturday was not a save, his fact that threw the pitches, but shows his durability, the strength and stamina to come back, throw 95 at the first pitch to Harris tonight.
curveball popped up. Petit out. 1 out. Well, Bailey, Ray mentioned the 26 pitches on Saturday, 19 yesterday, so his 3rd day in a row on the mound. He did have Thursday and Friday off, and that certainly helps. But he has been a workhorse. And he wants the baseball. And the thing is, too, I'm sorry, Ray, but when you're the closer and your team's on a hot streak, you're going to pitch a lot.
Oh, yes. And that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah. This is a pinch hitter, Jason Kubel. I'm sorry, it's not. Yeah, it is Kubel. Busher, a left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle, so back-to-back pinch hitters for the Twins. Be careful with this guy. He has pretty good power. Two and one. Kubel's 7 homers, 31 RBIs. He is the regular designated hitter for Twins, just not in the lineup tonight. Popped up on the infield. Cabrera steps onto the grass. He's got it. 2 outs.
Well, that's just plain power there. As you mentioned, a very good power hitter, and 94 mile an hour fastball got him. You can jam the power hitter, you're doing something.
So here's Brian Busher.
Say one thing's consistent with Tom Kelly, the great manager of the Twins, couple of world championships, and Ron Gardenhire. When in doubt, closer comes in as a right-hander. They pinch hit lefties. As many as they've got, they'll pinch him.
First pitch, breaking ball, in for a strike to Busher. Busher has 1 home run on the year. He's hitting .205. That one's just a bit low, 1-1. Nice pitch, outside corner, right at the knees.
Perfect pitch, and perfectly caught by Suzuki.
Drive, right field on a slide, and how about Adam Kennedy, the second baseman playing right field, ends the game with a very nice sliding catch. You know things are going well when that happens. Kennedy looked like he's been out there for